So AE is obviously a family business.
It is.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about, how it started and where it's been?
Well, first of all, we're really different because we're a third generation family-owned business. The business was started in 1930 during the Depression by my grandfather, Ivar Eriksson. And if you just think about that, starting a business in the Depression, it isn't optimum. It was a challenge from the very beginning, I think. We've had 3 CEOs, my grandfather and then my father, and now I'm the CEO, and I work with other family members. I have my brother that I work with, who is the CFO here, and our father is the chairman of the board, and we have lots of family members on our board of directors, etc. So it truly is a family-owned company. And our roots are strong in Iowa. We've been here on the east side since the very beginning of 1930. Our original building was right next to the fairgrounds, and we moved to this location in the late 30s.
And what motivated your grandfather to start a dairy? What was his background?
Oh, he was Swedish. I think he loved cocoa, like chocolate cocoa, so he loved milk. He had roots on the farm, and he was a very down-to-earth man, and he liked providing milk to his neighbors, pasteurizing it so it would be safe, and then delivering that to all the neighbors. So that's how he started. Something else that I think is really interesting about my grandfather, he only had an education through the 8th grade. And many of the traditions that he began for the dairy are still in use. The tradition of taste test, which is different for a dairy to have, and that tradition was started by my grandfather as well. I mean, think about it, we're packaging all kinds of products. If we're not tasting it and every batch, then we don't know everything that's going out. Right. So we sit down once a week and we taste a sample of every single thing. Planting tulip bulbs every year, that was his idea. He had a great sense of branding even in the 1930s, and he said if people drive by our facility and they see that it's clean and orderly and has color with beautiful flowers and plantings, it will make people think that we take that care with our products as well. In the 30s, to think that way is incredible. So we carry on the tradition.
That's great. I think a lot of people think of AE and they think the 2 dairy cows in front of the plant. So tell me a little bit about how that came to be, how those cows came to be.
Annie and Eric, and I can't tell you how many times people say, which one is Annie? It's like the big one with the udder. That's Annie. Annie is short for Anderson, and then Eric is Eriksson. And Annie came in the 1940s. She's kind of a tradition on the east side, and she stands guard, and then Eric joined her in the 70s. They're sort of our ambassadors and our spokespeople too.